Stay up out the way, don't get your issue splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers to Speakers. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B. Foster, and we did not plan on wearing the same hats today. It just happened like that, right?
Yeah. Shocked the hell out of me.
This is like real talk. If you're listening to the podcast aggregators, if you subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube, you'll definitely see what we're talking about. I have a Pittsburgh Pirates hat on. Foster has a Pittsburgh Pirates hat on. It looks kind of weird. But hey, we're not in a rap group. It's just the luck of the draw today. I am not putting that on the screen there, sir. That was a comment by Jody Joe. I'm not putting that on the screen, no. But anyway, subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. And for the podcast, we can find us on any of the podcast aggregators for your audio fix. That's platforms like YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. All you have to do is type Bleachers to Speakers, FFSN, into the search. Hit that notification bell, follow us, do whatever it prompts you to do. That for whenever we drop, you'll get an alert, download those episodes, and you'll get the material. Foster, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I hate that I have to wait till 4:00 to see us play, but I will manage, I guess.
I mean, 4:00 is like, okay.
I've been up since like 5 a.m.
Well, the Tigers play at 1.
The Tigers play at 1.
So hey,
yes.
well, we don't. At least you can watch that game in totality in peace. And then when that's over, Lions game probably be starting. So
yeah, because I had to split screen last week. So
no, can't.
I did.
I got to have. They got to give my for football. Football has to have my undivided attention.
Tight man.
Yeah. But anyway, you don't have to do that this week. You got the Lions at 4, Tigers at 1. Quick update with the Tigers. What's going on? What's at stake today?
We are a half a game out of the final wild card spot. Technically 1.5, I believe, because of the tiebreaker. And the Twins have a doubleheader today because they were rained out yesterday. And the Royals are crumbling in the same fashion that the Twins are at this current moment. I think they're down 0-2 in the Giants series. So, yeah, Tigers obviously got to just keep winning just to, to keep pace. But the Royals and Twins are certainly helping us out right now.
7 games left.
7 games left.
So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be, whether hopefully the Tigers make the wild card. If not, it'll be a hell of a finish and a strong month to close out the season, so regular season. So good to see. Anyway, that's enough Tigers talk. Let's get to the task at hand. The Lions are at Arizona today. Foster, I gotta ask you, man, how do you feel? How are you? Does this game worry you? 1-1. I feel like it's a must-win game, just for
a must-win.
I mean, just for the history, man. You know what it is. You know the vibes. You know what I'm saying.
I do know the history, and the history says that the Lions don't lose 2 in a row. I do know that.
Oh, I mean, I ain't gonna bother with it. But you know what I'm saying? Like the morale, the energy, like the football energy that's been in this city for the Lions for the past 2 years has been incredible. Right?
Yes.
I want to keep that same energy. To me, it's not a must win as far as the season goes,
right?
But as far as the energy. But you notice when the Lions were having that losing season, on game day, people still have faith.
Yeah.
The faith never leaves. But I feel like today they will win, and I think it's a win that we gotta have from a morale standpoint.
Yeah, I think that we are due for a clean game or a relatively clean game because the first two games have been so, taxing and rough on my psyche, anyways. But yeah, history shows that we see, in the last couple of years we bounced back from losses. We're strong on the road. We were 6-3 on the road last year. And the jury's still out on the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I'm not fully convinced that they are who they. I mean, they're 1-1, and they beat a banged up Rams team. So that's not enough for me to feel like they're just gonna, run through us or give us any some serious trouble. So yeah, as far as the morale of the fickle fans, yes, this is a must win. But I mean, we started 1-1 last year,
For
and
sure.
and that turned out pretty good. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried, but I'm cautious. I'm not going in there like, oh yeah, we're gonna smoke their boots or anything like that. But overall, I think that we are due for a clean, solid performance.
I think the Lions will put together a good game today. But you know what's going to happen, Foster?
What's that?
The defense will have a good day. And let's say the defense has a good day, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, well, Kyler Murray's unproven, or what I'm saying? It's going to be some
Kyler
excuse.
Murray's been around, as dude. That's not a guy that's new, that's green to the league.
Yeah, but they're going to say it's just Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? He's hit or miss. They're not going to credit the Lions at all. They're just no matter
How's
what.
Matthew Stafford? Is he good or no?
Oh, we know it. I mean, me and you know what it is. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, it's going to be something, right? But it's a lot of good games on today. I'm looking forward to this uh Arizona and Lions game. I haven't paid much attention to Arizona. All I know is uh Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray. That's about it as far as uh me knowing anything about them. I haven't paid much attention. I do know they played Buffalo pretty close the first game. They wound up losing to Buffalo, and they beat a banged up Rams team, a team without Pakua, team offense without Pakua, offense without Cooper Cup. I mean, you take away those two, and I don't think anybody is worried about the Rams
No.
offensively. So, and I think they were missing their tight end, correct? Didn't he get hurt?
Possibly. I don't even who is. I can't remember his name, but yeah, you're probably right about that.
So I think they were down to their third string tight end. And I mean, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, you still have to line up and play football at the end of the day, and they took advantage of what was going on in front of them. So you got to give them credit for that. But a lot of people watching the Arizona game last week, I'm like, these guys look amazing. What is going on here? Like,
they smoked them out pretty early. We were watching the game, we were doing our post game, and we looking at the score. It was like 21-0. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Troy said, "What's up, fellas? Go Lions. What's up, Troy? Thanks for coming. Whoa. Thanks for being here.
Yo.
I know it's Lions show. Troy says, I know it's the Lions show, but go Tigers too. We talked about that earlier, Troy. We started the show off talking about the Tigers, man. You can't help but talk about it.
Tigers tone with the
Tigers have been like down for a few years, so it's like it's exciting. Like,
look at this comment.
Hey, yo, y'all both rocking Pirates hats. What's going on? Hey, Troy, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just put this hat on. I didn't know what Foster.
You wear it a decent. You wear it a decent amount, and I literally just bought me a new one because, of course,
I wear black a lot. So I wear my Pirates hat a lot. I wear my White Sox hat a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's the only 2 black hats I got. I just
But you have a ton of hats, so you could have literally worn anything. That's the funny part.
But it goes with the Pittsburgh shirt. I can't.
No, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like,
I can't wear the White Sox. I would have.
Oh no! Oh my God! If you wore a White Sox hat with a,
I mean,
Pirates
Matt
shirt,
Hoffa did it. I mean, it's the way New York rolls sometimes, man. It's just the colors, man. So
that's crazy. You said Math did?
Math had on like a White Sox, a Cubs hat, and some other kind of team jersey.
You said a Cubs hat or a White Sox hat?
It was white and blue and red. It was either
That's
I think
Cubs.
I can't remember the I think it was a Cubs jersey and another white, blue, and red kind of hat. Different team.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy. They was in the comments going wilding on him like, you have no business wearing that. But I was taught a long time ago, and I hate to say this to my New York people, that they just wear the colors. They don't care what matches, teams and stuff. You can't do that in Michigan, man. Can't do that in Detroit, man. Can't do that around here. You gotta coordinate the teams, man. You can't have Tampa Bay hat on and the Lions jersey. It just doesn't.
Vikings hat. We saw somebody
Vikings hat, Lakers shirt. Nah,
it was crazy. It was the combo was just
they
were like rivals.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, we're gonna have some decorum here. Gotta wear the black and yellow. But Foster just got his Pirates hat. I've been doing it.
I've been doing it. Yeah.
Anyway, what do you see from Arizona, man? What do you see, Foster? I need to know because I haven't paid attention.
Well, last week they had a pretty balanced attack. Connor was getting busy. Obviously, Marvin Harrison was getting busy, and Kyler Murray kind of moved the ball around to a lot of different targets. So, you really, I mean, you can try to say, oh, well, we'll just key in on trying to shut down Marvin Harrison, but he kind of moved the ball around a lot, and he only had 4 incompletions. He was 17 of 21 for 266 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he was he was successful in moving the ball around, and that was kind of the coming out game for Harrison because he didn't do too much of anything in the first game. So I'm really excited, and they've already kind of talked about it. The matchup of Terrion Arnold versus Marvin Harrison. I don't even know if they faced each other in college. It would have had to have been in a postseason type setting because they're obviously not in the same division. But that's something that they've definitely highlighted is Terrion Arnold versus Marvin Harrison. And I also know that he's been recovering from some type of illness and has been limited in practice, Terrion Arnold. So, but I don't think anything short of a actual legitimate injury would stop him from, participating in this game because this one, it seems that he has circled on his calendar.
Well, let me add some information here. No, they did not see each other in a post game in college because Ohio State hasn't been there. Sorry.
Wow, what? They haven't been there.
Not with Marvin Harrison.
Gotcha.
So,
you can say that with full confidence, huh?
Yeah. They have been there. They have been there with Marvin Harrison, but it wasn't versus Alabama. They were there because Marvin Harrison got knocked out of a playoff game, and I think that's the reason they lost. It was the same Final Four that they were in Michigan 2 years ago, and they was worried about Ohio State and Michigan clashing again, but they both lost. So,
oh yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. Troy brought up something that I was going to talk about, and I'm going to read his comment. He says, "We struggle with running QBs, so I'm nervous, but our roster is better overall, so I'm hoping we get the dub." Me and Foster has brought this up 1,000 times over the past couple of years. Running quarterbacks scare us to death. mobile quarterbacks scare us to death. It's just one of those things. You've seen what happened with Mayfield for the winning touchdown that they had. He ran on he just ran on a couple of plays. Whether they was one of them was designed and the other one were just broken plays where he just got out there. And Kyler Murray is more swift of foot than than Mayfield. He's more of a danger out there. So I think when it comes to a mobile quarterback, you gotta be disciplined with your gap responsibility. You have to be gap sound, your rush lanes. You can't get out of whack. You got to let each person on that line do their job and not be too greedy and make a play. You have to have gap integrity. So a lot of these plays, and it's a lot easier said than done because when you're out there and you have an opportunity to make a play, a lot of these plays are made by not doing the norm. So, you can make a miraculous play by not maintaining your rush lanes and just making a play. At the same time, if he gets away, then you know what I'm saying, you've done your team, your defensive line an injustice. It's just the same as your defensive end not setting that edge. They don't, you have to be gap sound and you have to. I don't think sacking the quarterback is the ultimate goal every single time, but rushing the pressuring the quarterback is the goal. Long as you get pressure, you can do some damage just pressuring the quarterback every time he has to throw. And I think with Kyler Murray, you have to be aware that he can get outside, he can run, he can outrun you. He can outrun your linebackers for sure. Definitely. Troy said, I'm with you. I'm scared. Jody also says, if I wore hats, I just wear the colors. Jody, you can't do that, sir.
He would, though.
Jody don't care, man. Jody don't care. He just don't do it. He don't care. Yeah, I agree, Jody. Jody says, we gon' win, y'all. Don't worry. I agree. And the thing is, if you want to be considered a good team and you want to have confidence, you can't worry about certain games. Like, you can't worry about game 3 versus Arizona. If you're worried about game 3 versus Arizona, and because Arizona hasn't showed me anything, like if they're invincible the past couple of years and they walk into the season and they've been dominant, then you worry. But a team that's trying to find their way, game 3, you can't worry about that. Even though the pressure's on, I mean, not the pressure's on, but you're aware of every team because any given Sunday you can lose. So, but at the same time, you can't worry about today's game. I think today the Lions will win. But before we continue, Foster, I want to get to a break and we'll break the game down a little bit. Lions at Arizona today, man. Do we have any significant injuries, Foster? People that are not playing that you know of?
The ones that are for certain out are Ife Melifonwu and Missouri. What's his name? And it's Rekistraw.
That's pretty healthy.
Yeah, as far as certain ones, we got some questionable guys. Alex Anzalone did travel with the team, so there's a chance he's questionable right now. So there's a chance that he will suit up. Terry Arnold is questionable, but I don't think he's going to miss this game. Graham Glasgow is questionable, and Isaiah Williams, who hasn't yet played, but we do know that Allen Robinson and Tim Patrick have been elevated to the main roster. So that might be an indication as far as Isaiah Williams, but very interesting that Allen Robinson could see his first action of the year. And Tim Patrick was obviously played some games last game. I mean, had played some snaps last game and had a few receptions. So it'll be good to see how he adjusts in his second game and as we try to make that adjustment to, going without Josh Reynolds and stretching the field with taller, more physical receivers. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the offense gels a little bit better, because we were shaky through a couple picks, couldn't get it done in the red zone. There were definitely some red flags in the red zone.
1 for 7 in the red zone last game, and you only score 16 points, but you only lose by 4 points. I mean, you got to tip your hat to the defense for hanging tough. I think if you score more, the defense looks that much better. You know,
The defense looked pretty good last week, though.
yeah. I mean, you're going to, this defense isn't a shutdown defense. It's not the 85 Bears. You're going to have your they're going to lose some battles, but predominantly they have held up the first 2 games pretty good, considering what's transpired. You got a rookie corner out there. He's going to make mistakes, and I think he's going to be better because of these mistakes. Now, it's just a matter of when he's going to be better, but he's going to be better. Little handsy, but that comes with, lack of confidence. And we know this guy isn't lacking in confidence whatsoever. He just has to get used to what he's doing, shape up on his technique, and I think he'll be fine. Let me ask you this. If he doesn't play, which we know he's going to play, but who would be the other corner that would start?
That's a good question, because Ennis Rakestraw it would probably be Amik Robertson.
Okay. That would be your second corner. Okay. I ain't mad at that.
Third, because Carlton Davis is obviously on the other side.
He's your starter. He's your number 1 corner.
Right.
And he's played pretty well. He's played pretty well.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet. He's not a guy that I've seen his name called a lot. It's been more so Arnold for the good and for the bad, but sometimes it's better to be quiet. I won't compare.
Don't do that.
You knew what I was gonna say?
Do not mention CS. Don't do it.
That's
Don't
crazy. How did you know?
Do it. Strike that, expunge that. Hey, dump that.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
I mean, I want the prelude erased. Engineer, dump that prelude to what he was about to say. No. Okay, you won't hear that.
Cut the music. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I knew where you were going with that.
It's all this black and yellow,
yeah. We're not gonna go there, but yeah, that guy was quiet too last year, and then it got loud.
Then it got real loud. Did it ever get loud?
Yeah. Yeah. We've moved past that though, Foster. We've moved past that
quite swiftly.
Yeah. I mean, I still think back to when the Lions were acquiring Carlton Davis and then drafting Terrion Arnold and then drafting Rakestraw. And I'm like, why are you getting all these D-backs?
And we already had re-signed Mosley too.
Yeah. And it's like, why are you doing all this? Well, we see why. It's for good reason. Because if you hadn't done this, no offense, but you might have Vildor at the other corner starting. You might have the other guy.
I was about to mention. I was like, because I don't know why I always forget about Amik Robertson, but I was going to say we're getting into Kendall Vildor territory real quick.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of those games where you could actually, if Terrion Arnold's not ready to go, I would feel comfortable with Amik Robertson out there. I don't want him one-on-one with Marvin J. Harrison, though. He's 6'4".
No,
I just can't.
He's like 5'9".
He's 5'9". I don't want
serious.
Yeah, he's 5'9". We don't want that. We don't want that matchup. And the thing is, nowadays, though, it's so much motion in these offenses, and they move who they want to get the ball around. We do it with St. Brown. He's rarely stationary on one side. You don't know where he's going to line up at the snap of the ball. These offenses, Cooper Cup made a living off us last week. I mean, when we played him and in the first week, and they moved him around, and he just wasn't lining up on one side and hiking the ball. He was in motion a lot, this, that, and other. They use a lot of motion nowadays to create mismatches and this, that, and other. So there's no, we're gonna put this person against this person. So let me throw that out of my mind because you could have Robinson on the field. If they want Marvin Harrison to be matched up with them, they'll make it happen. Because you can't do that on defense. You can't just switch around. Your defense is set. The offenses, they call audibles and I mean, you can call coverage. You can change your coverage as well, but it's rare. It is what it is. That matchup is going to be, you can't avoid it. If that's the matchup they want, they can get it. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, but hopefully Arnold plays. For some odd reason, I can't wait for Shaw to be healthy, even though he hasn't even really been playing. I just want him to be available.
Yeah, availabilities. Yeah.
And it's early, so they might just got a couple of nicks and say, okay, let's do this. But the good news is Davenport is playing today.
Yeah. And the Lions have the second, by PFF, they are the second ranked defensive line in the entire league.
Well,
would we have ever expected that?
Well, here's another thing, Foster. This will be the first game this year where you have Hutch, Davenport, Reeder, and McNeil on the field at the same time.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
This is the first game. That. Yeah, this is your first game where all the starters on the defensive line are playing. That's huge. We need that. We need that. Didn't have it in the first game because DJ Reeder didn't play.
Right.
Second game, Davenport didn't play.
Right.
The gang's all here at front. But the crazy thing about it is you got your front four. There's a question of whether Anzalone might play.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Hopefully he's able to play. But I've been really, really impressed with Barnes lately at the linebacker position. He has stepped it up. He has been the linebacker where I thought he could be when they drafted him. Because in preseason, his rookie season, he looked like he was out there making plays, and he just got quiet after that. Contract year for him, he might be playing for the money, and that's what you want. Go get that check, man. Mm-hmm. So I haven't seen much out of Campbell to really give an acknowledgement. How's Campbell been doing?
Honestly,
been kind of quiet.
I'm going to keep an eye on him. I feel like I've seen Malcolm Rodriguez more than I've seen
Malcolm Rodriguez played a lot last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and that may be due to Anzalone, because I don't know how much Anzalone missed, but I know he had that collision with Barnes at some point in the game. So maybe that was kind of his equivalent. Was because I don't think Campbell is a covered guy. I think he's more of a run stopping guy. So, yeah.
And I found out some stuff last week, Foster. Found out after the game. The question for me was, okay, first game, you didn't have St. Brown was non-productive. We wasn't worried about that because we knew he was going to have probably a double-digit reception game the next game, and he was going to even out his average. Because we knew you can't keep him quiet, and sure enough, he did. However, that first game, Sam Laporta only had 4 catches. He had 2 in the second game. So in the third game, right after the second game, I'm questioning what's up with Sam Laporta. Found out that they haven't been calling his number because of the hamstring injury.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So they've been kind of like pacing him and, having him out there is kind of like a decoy, but not really calling his number like that. So
you could tell something was up. It just wasn't right.
Well, you know what it is with a hamstring injury. Those things are so tricky, right? You could be fine and you can tweak it and it could linger. So I think that's what they're doing is like they're just like trying to bring him along slowly. And I think this game, we'll see. We'll see. If they call his number early, we'll know he's doing all right.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Record Straw. I mean, he tweaked his right before he was ready to go, and right before the game, they pulled him, or they made him inactive. So, and he's not playing today. So yeah, those things linger, and you just gotta sit down. Like you can't try to fight through it because it just never gets better.
No. You ever pulled a hamstring?
I have not. Thank God.
Oh man. It doesn't. It's not cool.
It's just not cool.
It's not cool. It doesn't heal on its own. Well, it does heal on its own. It just, you have to stay. Oh, you can't run on it.
Yeah.
It just, you have to rest it. You have to wrap it. You have to do cold treatment. You have to do hot treatment. You have to do all these treatments and just wait for it to heal. And the thing is, you could tweak it in a heartbeat though. So that's if it's not properly healed. So
right,
you still have to. And then the crazy thing is, you still have to stretch it, and it's painful. It's painful. So I'm just hoping Sam Laporta is okay. I'm just hoping he's getting healthier. We haven't had our full complement of players for the first 3 games. Like I said, we finally got our defensive line intact for this game. A banged up Laporta. I was thinking, I'm wondering to see what St. Brown looks like, because he was out for those last few plays of the game.
right.
And that was when you needed him out there the most, those last couple plays.
Yeah.
And then, but to hear that he was back at practice, was a great sign. I think he was cramping. That's what I think. I mean, when they lay you on your back and start stretching you like that, it's usually cramps. And it's in Arizona today, so they're liable to cramp up again today, because it gets pretty warm in Arizona. I mean, it doesn't cool down until like December there. So
ain't that nice?
Yeah. Hey man, but I'm hearing though, like, that there's a guy that I work with, right? And he's like this, I don't want to say nerd because he might watch the show, but
well,
but he's really, really techie, right? So we're in a meeting and he says, "Hey, been doing some studying and looking around. They're predicting a warmer than usual fall and winter in his area," and he said, "and in Michigan." I was like, "Really?" And so I looked at the forecast, and it's like next week it's all high 70s. Right. And I'm like, okay, I know it's not big news because it is September, it doesn't get cold in September, but 78, 79 degrees at the end of September, I ain't mad at that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
I'm just waiting to see what October will look like as far as weather. But I got off the topic. But it's going to be hot in Arizona. It's going to be hot in Arizona. I hope those guys. Do you know of any remedies for cramping?
No, I don't. Drinking water.
I've heard, of course, obviously drinking water, but by the time you cramp up, it's too late.
Right.
But I heard they said eating pickles.
Hey, yo.
I mean, there's hamburger deals. They got the circular pickles, bro. They don't have to get your mind away from there, Foster.
Yeah.
They make more than one kind of pickle, bro.
They're all pickles.
I mean, I can't do this anymore. I got to change the subject, but there's other things.
Like that was the only thing you could think of. That's the only remedy that stuck out.
No, there's bananas, but that's even bad. That's bad too, right?
You're right, though. You're right. You should have said potassium.
Yeah, but
You do the math on how you get it.
Hey, bro. It's time for another commercial, man, because I can't. This is just
Please.
yeah. Jody, I'm not showing that comment, and Foster's not going to read it. I am God here, so you can say whatever you want in the you can say whatever you want in the comments. I'm not reading it. I can strike that one. Let me see if I can erase that. Let me see. Delete comment. Boom. I am God here.
Man,
look, Foster, it's gone.
He
Boom.
just disappeared.
Jody, I am God here. You can't say anything now.
He took him 8 months.
Just delete it. Boom.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Arizona versus the Lions today. What happens if the Lions lose, Foster?
Then they lose. I don't even know who we got next, like after that. But yeah, I mean, if they lose, they lose. I mean, it has no telling on the season. We have a strong coaching staff. We have a team that has aspirations of a long, a very lengthy year. So, I mean, we do have. I thought somebody said we didn't play the Seahawks this year. That's who we got next on Monday Night Football.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
is that in Seattle?
No, that's at home. I tell you what. Especially as tough as Seattle plays us, if for some godforsaken reason we lose to Cardinals, that game is a major game. And
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You can't be 1-2 and going into that fourth game is a must win.
And then you've lost 2 games at home by that point if you were to lose. Then I hate to even speak like that, but whatever. It's hypotheticals. The game 4 against the Seahawks prime time at home would be a must win. But we won't get ahead of ourselves.
And I want to say Seattle hasn't looked. They haven't looked invincible. So, but one game at a time. Let's stick to Arizona. We got to win today. Not we got to win. We're going to win today.
Yeah.
It's going to be. We have to wait till 4:00. Tigers are at 4. And do you have any predictions for today's game?
I think we definitely get the W today. Like I said, we're a strong road team.
Can we get a score?
A score? Oh God.
Hey, look, I said I was about to start giving score predictions. That's against the protocol for me. So I got score predictions this year.
I'm gonna say 30-20.
Ooh.
I mean, we scored last week 16.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. I was gonna say 24-10. 24-10 Lions.
At least 2 scores, yeah.
It would be wonderful if we scored 30 points. 30 plus. Be wonderful.
I mean, all you got to do is, not kick 100 field goals in the red zone. I mean, we're getting to the red zone. That's the big thing is that we're capable of getting down there. But I'm definitely banking on Laporta bouncing back and having a better and getting back to somewhat of the form that he was on last year. And just Ben Johnson making some adjustments. I'm also banking on Dan Campbell not screwing up the time management at the end of the half. I mean, we had a lot of misfortune, and we were still in a position to win the game when it was at the very end. So Arizona, the key is going to be stopping the run, which we're very stout against the run. They're 4th in the NFL in rush yards, and part of that is due to James Conner, but also due to Kyler Murray and what he brings to the table. So, the key is going to be making him uncomfortable in that pocket and not allowing him to break contain, and we have a completely healthy defensive line. The secondary has been pretty solid. And our passing attack has been pretty good, considering it's just been a matter of scoring touchdowns, because we're still ranked pretty high as far as total yards passing wise. We just gotta punch it in.
Yeah, I think the key to the game is stopping the run first and not just shutting down Connor. Like, make them one dimensional, where you have to make Kyler Murray. You gotta challenge him to beat you. I'm just steady deleting Jody's comments because it's kind of wild. But yeah, you gotta make, and until he can prove you wrong, Kyler Murray is going to be the person that has to win the game. You're not going to run the ball. I'm going to make you face third and 6 or better every down, every series. There's no 3rd and 2s, no 3rd and 3s. You're going to be behind schedule on 2nd down and 3rd, if it's up to me. So I think that's one of the key to games, just stopping the run first, playing stout up front. I think the offense wakes up today. I think you just keep doing what you're doing. I want to see more Montgomery in the beginning, and between 2nd and 3rd quarters, you throw Gibbs in there for a change of pace, and you finish up with Montgomery. When you've worn them down, then you put the bell cow in there. Jody predicts 24-17 Lions. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at that at all. Sounds like a good score. Foster, you got anything before we want to get out of here? Anything you got to say?
Well, I was pretty harsh on the Buccaneers secondary, and they kind of, in a sense, kind of made me out to be a fool.
They played their hearts out, though.
They were playing tough.
Yeah, they were amazing considering.
But I do think that the key was, partially Sam Laporta not being pretty much a non-factor, and just getting Tim Patrick and getting Tim Patrick acclimated and stretching the field more. Obviously, Jameson Williams did a pretty good job of that, but nowadays you got to have, you need a multitude of receivers to press the issue. And so I think that we have another opportunity to exploit them. Their secondary is nothing, really, I think they're 19th in pass against. They actually have an ex-Lion out there, Starling Thomas, who couldn't even make our team last year. But
I like the sounds of this.
Yeah. But outside of that, they got Garrett Williams, who went to Syracuse. I was like, Garrett Williams, that sounds familiar, but he went to Syracuse. He might have played with my brother, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. But the guy to look out for is Budda Baker. He's pretty tough out there, and he's a safety. So definitely got to be wary of him. We know that Jared Goff is definitely susceptible to the occasional duck, and gotta take care of the ball, gotta win the turnover battle. That's one thing that we did not do, despite the fact that we did outrush and outpass them, and had way more first downs as them, is that we did not take care of the ball. So we got to try to get some takeaways and take care of it on our end. So yeah,
I agree. I don't have anything to add to that. I think the Lions win, and I think as long as they handle business and they have to take care of those things, it will be Jody's behind because he's saying a bunch of stuff. Like, he just asked, what did I say?
Yeah,
Jody must have started the show late because he's just catching on. So before he says anything else, I'll just end the show. Thanks for tuning in today. The Lions, tune in 4 p.m. Eastern time. The Lions will play at Arizona. Foster has them winning. I have them winning. Let's go Lions.
Get your lick back. If a nugget owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nugget owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way.